Hi all, Bones here from Oz Bantams, and we've finally had tyres come in, so we are ready to start putting this bike back together. So a couple of things, you probably won't be able to see it from where the camera angle is, but I actually found I need ball end levers to comply with the Australian Motorcycling Association regulations, and I found an original set of steel ball end levers that are a bit rusted up and match the patina of the bike, so I'm very happy about that. As you can see, most of the handlebar controls are on, and I'm about to start putting wheels on and start getting this bike back together. Once I get wheels on, I'll transfer it over to the hydraulic stand, get it up a bit higher, a bit easier to work on. So let's do it. As you remember, I had trouble, excuse me, I had troubles with the rear guard. I had to have the wheel in before I could fit up the rear guard, so we've got to get the wheel in first, rear wheel in first. Okay, I don't know if you remember, but the back wheel, the front wheel was in back to front, and there was a theory that you got better braking if your brake drum was on the opposite side. So nice theory. So I'm putting it back in the normal position. It'll be alright if I took the nut out a bit first. Okay, we've got the front wheel in, got the guard on. We had to turn the brake vacuum plate back around this side because there is no clearance to the cable on this side because of the two bolts that are on the modified mudguard stay. So obviously that's why you put the brake vacuum plate around on that side. So the cable will have plenty of clearance on this side. Surprisingly, this mudguard is really rigid. The mudguard stays are a bit bent, so they've got a bit of preload on them when you fold them all up, but that's really good. Okay, so we'll get the back guard on now. Now, if you remember from an earlier video, these have actually got tabs, so I have to get a clamp, squeeze them up to get them inside the frame lugs. So I'll just go and do that. We're in. Alrighty, so we've got our engine in and bolted up. Our CVI unit is in, and I've put the handlebar mounted kill switch. Now the kill switch is actually a requirement for the Motorcycling Australia regs. You've got to have a handlebar mounted kill switch, so there it is. So we've got that all in place, and the next thing I've got to do is clean out the petrol tank and put a new fuel tap on the petrol tank, but it's all's progressing very well. Very happy. Okay, some minor problems with the thread in this fuel tank, so I'll just run a tap through, give it a clean before we fit up our new fuel tap. That's better. Or is it? No. Very good. New fuel tap on. Okay, we'll just drop the exhaust on, and right under the engine at the front there, it actually bolts up to the engine mount. But down the back there, you can see the bracket poking up behind the foot peg there. And I've got to make up a little spacer bush to go in there. It just had a nut in there originally, so we'll turn up a proper bush for it. Okay, so I didn't actually end up machining up a bush. What I had was a bit of tube, heavy wall tube there. It was a bit rusted up, so I've just machined either face of that to make it nice and square, and we've put that in. I never showed you after we actually renewed the exhaust. It was really tatty, but what we've tried to do, we've painted it with a high temperature paint, but we've gone back over it with some Scotch-Brite, and you can see the areas where the rust was coming through, so we've scuffed that all back just to clean it up. I can't claim any credit for that. My mate Crossy, he's a sign writer, he did all that little project for him, and he's done an exceptional job. You can see down there where that transition weld is, he's cleaned all that up, so you can see a bit of the bronze coming through, and likewise down on the end of the tailpipe. But I can tell you right now, that exhaust pipe is absolutely rock solid. You can see down here where it bolts up to the front engine mount. Really nice job, and it's looking really good. Alright, pretty happy with effort so far. Couple of problems we've run into are the choke cable and the throttle cable. They were made bespoke with adjusters in them that are split, and the cables are a bit iffy, so I've got to get some cables made up to suit. So I'll get that done tomorrow. But everything else has gone really well, and I'm pretty happy. So no major dramas, and you wouldn't expect it. I mean, I spent an awful lot of time prepping everything out to make sure everything went together really well. You might notice things like I've put new high tensile bolts in the engine mounts rather than reuse the old ones. But generally all the original fasteners have gone back on. They were more than serviceable. I've got all my cables and everything tied up. Yes, I have used cable ties, but this is a race bike that is going to be raced. So rather than have the rubber ones that perish and things like that, I've got to put some integrity back into the bike. So, but very happy with the way it's progressing. So tomorrow, off to get some cables made. Need a longer chain for the back because it's a lot longer than a standard Bantam chain, obviously because you've got a bigger sprocket. And we'll keep going. Well, we're not far off having a run, which I'm pretty excited about. So, very good.